For this, the first ICP we are having is the basic of Python coding. As homework provide as the ICP we have three different program we need to provide. The first one is the difference between Python 2 and Python 3 version. So I did a statement in my GitHub account. Then you're able to, once you open the ICP, you are able to see from the question 1 to question 3. Once you open the question 1 X, you're able to see at least the difference between the Python 2 and Python 3 version. Well, the main difference between 2 and 3 is division operation. For example, for the code, it's for divide by 5 in Python 2. It will just provide 0 instead of 0.8, which is in Python. This is because the division in Python 2 is integrate division between float division in Python 3. And next is the print function. When you print 1, 2, 3 in Python 2, it's invalid. It's valid syntax, but in Python 3, it's invalid. Because we need to use code inside of print 1, 2, 3. We need to include practice instead of none. And also impact string type. As you can able to see the code provide here, but in Python 2, it will provide when you type A, it will and B, it will give you a string instead of bits on Python 3. Next, other difference is function exchange. For the code, print x parenthesis exchange parenthesis 1 and 2 in close parenthesis. For Python 2, it will be valid, but as you're able to check on the Python 2, it's invalid syntax. Just because exchange is moved in Python 3, so you won't able to do exchange in Python 3 anymore. The next we have is basically just writing a Python program. Here's a coding example for question 2. They're using the random to give a random number. And I input strings from the user, ask the user to fill out the input. If the string has less than 2 characters, we are able to remove the last 2 characters. Else, remove at least 2 characters from the user input, then reverse the input. I'm using random direct to parenthesis to command length parenthesis user input and close parenthesis to get the random number between 2 and the length of the input of strings. By doing so, I will remove the at least 2 characters and most entire strings. Then I put a substring with that range and reverse the range to get me the output. For the part 2 of question 2, I write a Python program for the following is take two numbers from the user and perform arithmetic operation on them. First, to get input from the user, then just perform the arithmetics. And move down to the question 3. Which is just a short code. This basically is writing a program that accepts a sentence and replace each other symbol of Python with Pythons without using regets. By doing so, just ask the user for the input from the user and print out user input that replace Python and Python 3. Here is all the question they write down for this ICP project.